Hey everyone, we are so excited to be here today with Westley Gerard from GoTo. GoTo, formerly known as TempMee, has been a partner of Dentist Advisors for some time, and they've gone through a complete rebrand. We're really excited to talk with Wesley about the rebrand, everything that GoTo has to provide for each of our clients and members, and learn a little bit more about GoTo along the way. So Wesley has an awesome background with GoTo. He is their partner and relationships manager. So I work directly with Wesley and looking forward to providing some ongoing content while we work with GoTo. So Wesley, talk to us first off about the big news and the rebrand and what that means.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me, Spencer. We love working with Dentist Advisors. It's been awesome for us. So the rebrand, obviously we were formerly known as TempMe, but we didn't feel like that fully encompassed all of the things that our organization does. We're not only providing temps, we're providing permanent placement of full-time professionals. There were some people that might have some notions in their head about the level of skills that a temp would have. A lot of our workers have 15, 20 plus years of
Right.
experience. So we
Right.
wanted to honor those years that they've put in the industry and the
Mhm.
level of skills they really have. They're tip top workers. So all around, we felt like it really reflected more of what we do. And going forward, things that we might push into, new initiatives we might add, we think it'll be a lot more aligned with our company. Like we're your go-to in staffing and we got you.
Yes, yes. It makes total sense, and we want to break that down a little bit and how the model works. Wesley, I think it's um, something that since COVID, every practice has had the hiring challenges, overall staffing challenges, wage challenges, talent challenges, that to find just great people to follow suit with who they have had working in their practice. Um, and so the model is just awesome. Let's walk through the model and explain to our listeners how the model works.
So we have two sides of the company here. One of them is our temp side, which is essentially an on-demand dental staffing marketplace, either on your phone or on your computer. If an office is ever in need of some staff to either, people can use it for so many things, whether it's bringing in a backlog of patients, making sure they get seen, making sure they don't go to a different office to get seen. You can bring in an extra pair of hands, work through those patients, or just making sure that you're always staffed with somebody in case your normal staff calls out sick or goes on a vacation or there's a maternity leave, stuff like that. So the way it works on our on-demand platform is an office can make an account. It's a completely free account. We don't charge any sort of subscription fees or anything. They'll go on, they'll post a shift up to 90 days in advance. So you can schedule yourself 3 months before and completely know what your schedule is going to be. You put out that shift, you'll choose the hourly rate that you want to pay the professional. And then from there, once you click send, it'll get sent out to everyone within a 25-mile radius of your practice that's on our platform. We've gone through, we've verified these people's licenses. We've made sure they're in good standing and have no derogatory marks against their license. They'll see how far away your practice is from them, what you're offering per hour, what the hours are, and then they can put in an offer on it. They either have the option to accept the offer you put out or they can counter offer the hourly price. Either way, you'll see that somebody's put in an offer. You can go in, look at their profile, see what they're rated out of a 5-star scale, see if they've counter offered that price or just accepted it at what it is. They also have the ability to counter the offer. So maybe it's from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., but they have to pick up the kids from school at 2:30. They can say, hey, I can work until 2. That way we give you the best opportunity at getting somebody in there for that day, even if it's not for that entire day. Something is better than nothing when it comes to staffing. And then if you find a match that you think would be a really good fit for your offers, You go in, confirm them, they come in, we pay them out within 24 hours after that shift has been worked. The office doesn't need to worry about any of the payroll. We take the money from the office, we hold it in escrow, and then we pay out the professional.
Oh man, the model is so cool. And this is just confirming, this is the temp model that allows, um, I mean, it provides for so many, there's so many benefactors in this model because the office gets someone for when they know they're going to be short. I mean, there may be someone out on maternity leave. There may be someone that's just sick. There may be someone, that they can foresee a super busy day, and it allows them to increase their staff a little bit in preparation. I think the other benefactor that is so cool are for those that have applied to be reached out to, who have put their names in the pool in order to be notified. And let's talk about those. Each level of each position, I guess, is what I want to say, inside of dentistry in general, that
Yeah.
would, it can be pinged when there's availability.
Totally. So one thing I like to say is that like we are a staffing resource, but a staffing resource is really just a revenue resource, right? We're empowering these offices to create revenue, even if they might not have the security of either having a full-time staff that can be there all the time, or things happen, right? Working with people, it's unpredictable sometimes. So I just wanted to say that real quick. But the positions that we can provide on the temp side are going to be the clinical positions as of right now. That may change. We're a constantly evolving company, but that's going to be associate dentists, dental hygienists, which we started with back in 2019, and then dental assistants. Associate dentists are available on the platform right now in Texas, Georgia, and Florida, but that will be expanding, I would say, very soon within the next 2 to 3 months to most likely encompass all the states that we operate in.
Yeah. Talk about that. Why some states and not the others for the dentists?
I mean, really, it comes down to just us doing things right. We always want to make sure we've worked out the kinks before we roll things out to everyone. Texas, Florida, and Georgia are really strong territories for us, so we wanted to make sure we got it right and then open it up for everyone. Because whenever you roll out a new feature, there might be things that you haven't anticipated, and then you can fix those and give everyone the best experience. But that's pretty much the reasoning there. When it comes to our permanent placement, though, we do all those same clinical positions, as well as, if somebody's looking for a front office coordinator or a patient care coordinator or something like that, we might be able to place a dental assistant in there who can double as front office and clinical side, and kind of have a jack of all trades in that sense. We'll make it work for the office, and our permanent placement is different than the way we do our locums. It's more, you'll get connected with a staffing consultant. They'll find out the criteria your office is looking for. Then they'll go through. We have access to this huge pool of professionals. We can kind of narrow it down to that exact type of personality, that exact type of skill that you're looking for. Send them into the office through our temp platform to, kind of like almost like a working interview. I know some people are opposed to working interviews. We think they work really well because you don't know until you've worked side by side with somebody. So even if they're in there for a week, 2 weeks, you get that security of knowing you're going to make that right hire. And then we offer a 30-day warranty on those hires too. So if something happens, we'll relaunch that search for you. It's a 6-month search we do, and then if it doesn't, we'll relaunch another 6 months.
Awesome. Westley, back to the temp positioning. Talk about the areas that it is available in those other positions aside from the dentist again.
So it's going to be dental hygienists and dental assistants. So everyone that's patient facing.
Yeah. And where in the country, I guess, is what I'm saying, is that available?
Okay. Yeah. We operate in 45 states. That may change as we go forward. The only states that the temp platform is not live in are going to be Oregon, Washington, California, Vermont, and Connecticut, I believe.
Yeah, say no more. We understand the challenge.
Yeah, but that is,
That's a lot of coverage. That's fantastic.
yeah. One thing to keep in mind though is in those 5 states I just mentioned, we can find you a permanent hire, no problem. It's just, they're tough states.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think kind of putting a bow on that on the temp model again, just super convenient, really good opportunities. And again, I have to think that there are a lot of working in hygiene, front desk, in those roles that their office may be closed on Friday and they want to pick up an additional shift on Fridays and sometimes over a weekend or evenings. And that's really nice. It's such a benefit to increase your wages by just being willing.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things I talk to office managers and dentists at our trade shows a lot about is that like it's not just a resource for you bringing in other staff, it's also a resource for your staff because if you as a practice owner want to take a vacation for a week, right? There's not that friction of your staff not being able to work for a week. They can easily go, you let them know 2 weeks ahead of time. They can plan out a schedule for that week and it's seamless for them. It's seamless for you. It kind of cuts down on that inter-office like politic type stuff.
Yep.
And so it helps with staff retention in that way too.
Yeah. So as we talk a little more about the permanent placement, it's nice to let's kind of transition over to that. And if there's one thing that today's dentist does not have a lot of, that is just time to spare to look through the beginning phases of a hiring or process and the vetting through of applications and resumes and sitting down with it does take time, and by utilizing GoTo on the permanent placement, it gets cuts to the chase, and it's like you've got someone really good or someone really good, and then you can go into the model of, like you said, a working interview almost process there,
Yeah,
and save a lot of time.
100%. And that's one of the things that I think sets us apart from a lot of tech platforms right now is that you're not just working with a computer when you're doing a permanent hire with us. We have our headquarters in Miami, Florida. We have an entire floor of full-time dental recruiters that are going through and making sure we're finding a good fit for you. Even if you have the temp platform on your phone or on your desktop, if you decide it's time to look for a permanent hire, you can press a button right there, schedule a time for somebody to reach out to you. They'll call when it works for you, talk to you for 10, 15 minutes, let you know everything that you need to know, answer any of your questions, and then you can get started right there or think about it for a day, get started whenever you want. It's really on your schedule. It's like being able to staff your office just with your fingertips on your phone is something that's completely revolutionizing the industry. And you're not having to work with kind of outdated temp agencies anymore where you're calling them, they're finding out the hours you need, they're calling everyone on a list that they have people's schedules written down on a paper planner. Like it's inefficient. It's a thing of the past. We have some of the best developers in the industry that are staying on the cutting edge of technology. We're always rolling out new features. We rolled out a feature probably coming on close to a year ago now, a favorites list. So if you're getting temps through us on a consistent basis and you're making good connections with some put them on your favorites list. They'll get notified first when you have a shift open. Stuff like that, where we're just figuring out how we can really give the best experience to everyone that uses our platform, whether you're on the office side or on the professional side.
Yeah. I think one of the questions that comes up is, okay, we definitely need to use GoTo. Do we utilize them just this in the moment? Because you know how it's always like you're always we're not as proactive as we would like to think about hiring, right? And it's always like, then it's like too late and you're trying to find somebody, and then you pick up the phone and you call GoTo and you're like, okay, we need to get involved in the service. Talk to us about the model of, is it a monthly program where the office can just pay to always have you at their fingertips and always be prepared? And what about that practice that is like, oh, we need them right now? Do they just, can they pay to play type of a scenario, and sometimes they exit afterwards? Or let's kind of go through those different scenarios.
Yeah, the accessibility of the platform for offices is, I don't think anyone in the space comes close to what we're doing, to be frank. To get onboarded on the platform shouldn't take an office more than 10 minutes. It's putting in email, phone number, some office information. Like I said earlier, we don't charge a subscription fee. We don't charge you to post these shifts. We only charge you if we can help you. So
Yeah.
unless you get somebody in your office through us and that shift has worked to completion, you're not going to get a bill from us.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody calls out sick and you get a text in the morning, I can't come in, I am sick as a dog, then you can post a shift in 5 minutes if you have that account ready to go. 15 minutes if you need to set up an account. You'll have a regional account manager reach out to you. You'll have their number. If you ever have any questions, you can call, speak to an actual person. They're pretty much a staffing consultant for your office that's at your disposal whenever we're in office. You know, they'll help you with all of that. And you know, if for whatever reason you post a shift, you know, you can post a shift 5 minutes before it starts. It's unlikely that somebody will be able to get there and start. But you know, if you posted an hour beforehand, you have a good chance of getting a fill if you're depending on where you are. And if you don't, well, you didn't spend anything besides 5 minutes to post it. Maybe even less if you've used the platform before. Realistically, it takes probably closer to 30 seconds to post a shift. And you know, if that person's gonna be out that day, chances are they'll probably be out the next day and maybe the next day. So you post a shift for tomorrow and the day after, you'll get some coverage in there. Have to reschedule less patients, keep your revenue production going, and keep that bottom line for the office.
Yeah, I think that that is one of the coolest parts of the model, is that dentists are inundated with these monthly additional services that they sign up for, right? Like it's even become a common webinar practice to showcase how consolidation of dollars spent can be utilized by going with another program of some sort. Well, with GoTo, I love that today's dentist doesn't have to worry about paying $400 a month to call you and to bring in a temp or to look forward to a permanent placement. It's such a cool model that it's like, why wouldn't you utilize the GoTo service?
Yeah, and you know, that's what I would encourage. It, like, especially in dentistry now, where SaaS has taken such a big role in practice management, patient management, everything. I would encourage everyone to go do an audit of what they're spending on SaaS per month. I guarantee you, unless you're getting workers through GoTo, we won't show up on that audit because you're not paying unless we're providing you a service of value, you know?
It's, yeah, I love the model. I think the model is so needed right now. And let's face it, today's workers also are a little bit different. And I'm hearing this conversation more frequently, that the team members almost hold the practice hostage, and they're like, hey, I'm going out of town this weekend. I know it's late notice. And then the office is like, shoot, well, we don't want to fire this person because we need them in the long run, but we sure need it filled, although they put us in a pickle. And it's just like becoming more common that I think examples like this are you're just seeing it.
What it comes down to is it needs to be a mutually beneficial relationship between the office management and the employees there, right? And in my time as a regional account manager, I can't tell you how many offices I spoke to where it's like, oh, we just have the dentist doing the cleanings. Like, that is not the best use of your resources. You could be optimizing your revenue production greatly by bringing in a hygienist, an assistant, somebody to help out. We have an ROI calculator right on our website. So if you go in and you put in how much you're going to be paying per hour for this professional, put in what your average production is with a hygienist or an assistant, it'll tell you how much you're going to make on that investment. It's all super transparent. I would encourage, if anybody is still doing, if any dentist is still doing cleanings and not taking on those bigger ticket procedures, unless it's because you just love doing that, then definitely getting a hygienist in there or something can
Yeah.
bring your business to new levels.
Yeah, it's so true. Wow. Um, Such good information, such a cool model, such a cool business with GoTo. Um, let me share, Wesley, with everyone how you can get to know GoTo better and where you can find them, and how you're going to hear more information about them as we continue to move forward. But in today's 30 minutes that we have shared, the GoTo model is so beneficial to every practice, so easy to sign up. How do you sign up? Or get in touch with them? Just know that on our site at dentistadvisors.com, you can go to GoTo's site and learn more about GoTo. You can interact and talk with their team and get to know this model. We are available at Dentist Advisors to share more and talk more about GoTo, and excited about that. We have an upcoming webinar coming where we're going to really dig into the details of this with GoTo, and we're excited about that. But Wesley,
Yeah, we're going to shed some light on the overall state of work in dentistry as a whole. You know, that's something that we always have to stay on top of, is knowing what the state of work is, what the state of professionals and employers are. So we'll have some really good beneficial content there. If anyone, you know, I would encourage everyone to have either their office manager, or if they don't have an office manager, when they have 10 spare minutes, go to joingoto.com. It's joingotu.com. Set up an account. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. You'll get a call probably either the day of or the day after you set that up from your regional account manager. You can put their number straight in your phone, and if anything ever comes up, you just give them a call, or you pop into your account and put those shifts out there. It's really kind of a set it and forget it type thing, although we hope you don't forget about it completely. But it's just something, it's a resource to keep in your tool belt for managing a successful practice. It's we're here for you. And the last bits of info I'd leave is, like, there really is a white glove service when it comes to working with GoTo. Everyone at this organization knows that they are, when they're working with an office, the face of our organization, right? So we're only going to be as good as each of our individual team members are. And the other thing I'd say is, if anyone has worked with any other staff providers in the past that are charging you these subscription fees and charging you these insanely high service fees, there's probably a reason behind that, and it's probably because they don't have the vast network that GoTo has, right? If they're having to charge you a subscription fee, it's because they're not confident in the fact that they'll be able to fill those shifts for you, we are so confident in that we won't make a dollar unless we do fill that shift for you.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the model, and I think the dentists as well love that. Um, well, so good to talk with you, Wesley. We really look forward to the upcoming content that we're going to build together and share with everyone. Check them out. Check them out on their site or on dentistadvisors.com. And look forward to working with you more, Wesley.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.